there, everyone. This is Mindy Egan for Concord and Ninth. I'm excited to be introducing to you the Petal Pushers Stamps, Dies, and Stencil Pack for you today. This is a great year-round collection with beautiful floral designs, and they also fit perfectly on the 2023 printed calendars. Now let's take a closer look at the die collection. So the first thing we have here is this large frame that kind of has like a postage-like look around it. This is great for creating a mat on your card front, or you can die cut out your stenciled images. I die cut out the different flowers in a variety of colors. There's also some centerpieces that you can layer together. So I have the base piece die cut from some Stardust cardstock and the top piece from Buttercup, or you can do vice versa. There's also the word die hello that you can die cut out to add to your card fronts. There are some leaves so you can build up your flower bunch. And if you notice afterwards, once I show the stencils, you could layer these on top of your stencil design. There's also a centerpiece that you can die cut out that's kind of in the shape of like a sunburst, and then also a circle to add to the center. So a great way to layer these up. We have some small foliage pieces to add into your arrangement. And then there's also another one. It's kind of like a little sprig, and it has these little flowers on top. So there's a die that die cuts out all of these little flowers, and you can add these to the top so you can really customize your flowers. There's also some little stars that you can add too. And I did find it easiest for these really small pieces to use some sort of jewel picker to help pick these up. There is a die in here to cut out the word friend, so you can use the letters individually or die cut it from the front of your card. Here's a card I created using the dies from this set, so I layered them together. I took the same die for that large flower, die cut it once from a darker cardstock and another time from lighter cardstock, and then layered them together with a foam square just to add that dimension. The stamp set included in this bundle is a great mini stamp set for year-round. We have happy birthday, congratulations, thinking of you, and thank you. Now we have the stencil pack. So this actually has 7 stencils in it, and they are 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. There are 2 different designs in this stencil pack. It'll say at the top, etched into the stencil, floral 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. And then there's floral 2A, 2B, and 2C. And there's also registration marks in there to help you line up your cardstock. Here's an example of this stencil set that creates this little bouquet. And this is the one where I said you could take those die cuts and layer them on top to add dimension. And this is the other design that's included in this bundle where I die cut it using that frame die and then added a sentiment. I'm going to show you how one of these stencil sets work. So I took a piece of white cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I folded up some Post-it tape and placed it behind there so I could attach this to my work surface. And then I'm also just lining up those registration marks with the corner of my cardstock and holding the stencil down to my work surface with some low-tack tape. I'm going to start by ink blending on some Aqua Sky ink using my mini blending brush. And I'm going to use circular motions to apply this ink going from left to right and right to left to make sure I'm getting complete coverage of the flower. Now, if you want to boost this up a little bit, you can take some Oceanside ink and add it right to the center to help kind of add some dimension to our images. These flowers are spaced out enough that you could make a flower a different color. After adding this first layer color to my flowers, I can just carefully remove that first layer, and then I'm going to bring in stencil B, lining up those registration marks once again to make sure everything is placed, but you can also tell pretty easily where everything is supposed to go. This stencil has the center of the flowers and the leaves, and I'm going to use 2 different colors on here, starting with Buttercup in the center of the flowers. If you need to, you can bring in maybe some Post-it notes to help mask off areas, but I found this very easy to bring in Sprout for my leaves and stems. Then I can carefully remove this stencil to reveal my next layer here. And I can add the 3rd layer of the stencil, and this one is going to add some details to the center of our flowers and also some fun little elements around the flowers. So for the centers, these little dots, I'm adding Stardust ink, And then I'll use some ballet slippers, so just a really light pink to add to these little elements around the flowers. This is where having mini blending brushes comes in really handy because it fits right into those small areas. So then after I have this color added, I can lift up my stencil and I have this perfect one layer card. You really don't even need to trim this out if you don't want. So off screen, I did stamp a sentiment on the front of both of those cards that I showed you. Great for quick and easy cards. And then here's a look at the other two cards that I had created using the die cuts and also the other stencil image. That was our close-up look to the Petal Pushers Stamps, Dies, and Stencil Pack. Thanks for watching.